Hi everyone. So today we're going to work on solving rational exponent equations. So the other day we did radical equations where we had our variable inside underneath our radical. We took it, we squared or cubed whatever our root was. We did the power so that we can cancel out the radical with the power. So today we have a power and we're going to figure out how can we get rid of that power so we can solve for our variable. Okay, so what exactly is an exponential equation? So here it's where the variable is being taken to a power. So our variable is being taken to the power. Okay, so it's like, for example, if I could have x to the 1/2 is equal to 12, okay, I could have 4 times x plus 1 to the 2/3 equals 15. Okay, so that x is inside the parentheses and that whole quantity is being taken to the power. All right, so it's got to be taken somewhere along the lines the power is involved with the variable. So once again, we're going to try and get our variable by itself, and we're going to try and solve. But our first goal is to get rid of the radical or the fractional exponent, our rational exponent. And we may need to multiply or divide, add or subtract first before we can do that because we want to isolate that. All right, so here's some steps that'll help us out. All right, so again, we're going to go isolate. I always think I have that spelled wrong. I think I do. All right, we're good with that. Isolate the expression that is taken to the power. So in this case, we have this 3 here that's outside, so we're going to have to get rid of him. Do not distribute into the parentheses because the parentheses are being taken to the power. The 3 is not, so he's got to go. We're going to divide him. Okay, so if there's anything added or subtracted with your expression or your variable, we're going to need to get rid of it. So in this case, I'm dividing by 3. So we're going to get x plus 1 to the 2/3 is equal to 4. Okay. All right, so our next step is we're going to get rid of our fractional exponent. And the way we're going to do that is, we're going to raise to a power. But the power that we're going to raise to is going to be the reciprocal of your fractional exponent. So we're going to raise both sides to the reciprocal of the power. Okay, so over here, let's use the purple. Let me move this over because I need some room. Okay, so our power is 2/3, so we're going to raise both sides to the 3/2. Okay, now why does that work? Well, if we multiply power to a power, exponent rules, we're going to multiply straight across. So this becomes 6/6, which is 1, so they literally cancel each other out. So we are left with x plus 1 is equal to, all right, so we're going to use this for a moment, 4 to the 3/2. Okay, so 3 divided by 2. I want to say that's 8. It is 8. So to the 8. Okay, so our next step would be to solve for the variable. So we're going to subtract 1. We're going to get 7. And then guess what we're going to need to do? We're going to need to check your solution. Again, it's really important to check your solution. All right, so I guess I'm going to do this down here because I ran out of room. Okay, so we're going to go 3 times 7 plus 1 to the 2/3, and does that equal 12? Okay. So 7 plus 1 is 8 to the 2/3. That's 12. I want to say that's 4. So 3 times 4. Yes. The two sides are both 12. Huzzah. 7 is our solution. Okay. All right. It's awesome when it works out. All right. So let's try a couple of these. Okay. So here's my little remember. 3/2 is the same, and you're going to raise it to the 2/3 power. So here we have 1/3. So there's nothing added, subtracted, multiplied, divided to the expression that I'm raising to the power. So we're going to have to just start with raising to a power. So what's the reciprocal of 1/3? Well, that's 3. Okay. So that cancel each other out. So we get x minus 2 is equal to, okay, 5 to the 3rd. I want to say 125. 125. Okay, so we're going to add our 2. So that's 127. Okay, so we're going to check our solution in the original problem. Always check in the original. So we're going to do 127 minus 2 to the 1/3 is equal to 5. Big old question mark. That's what we're trying to figure out. Okay, so that's 125 to the 1/3. Okay, so I'm going to use my calculator and go 125 power 1 divided by 3. Love our calculator. Okay, so we're going to get 5. Yay! 5 is equal to 5. Cha-ching. That means 127 is our solution. That's awesome. All right, let's try the next. Okay, we're going to come back to 2. All right, so here we're going to need to isolate what's being taken to the power. The only thing, this is what's being taken to the power, just the x. If there were parentheses involved, but they're not. So the only thing taken to the 4/3 is the x, which means we got to get rid of the 5 and the 3. So we're going to subtract the 5. So that's 48. Divide by 3. So that's 16. All right, now we want to raise everything to the 3/4 power. 3/4. I was doing purple, sorry. 3/4, can flip it around. Okay. All right, so those cancel out. We're just left with x. And 16 to the 3 divided by 4 is 8. Okay, so now we're going to need to check that. Come back to that. So let's check and see if 8 is correct. So 8 to the 4/3 plus 5 is equal to 53. Now again, this is what's being taken to the power. So we need to do that first. Okay, so 8 to the 4 divided by 3, 16. So 3 times 16 plus 5. So times 3 plus 5. 53. Huzzah. Look at that. We get 53. Cha-ching. 8 is our solution. That's awesome. Okay. Why don't you pause the video and try 2 and 4 on your own and then check your answers. Okay. So hopefully you got those right and you were able to do the process of taking it to the reciprocal power. But we do have one more we're going to do, and this is our challenge question right here. Okay, so like the other day, we cannot have, okay, both radicals, in this case, both things, expressions taken to a fractional power on the same side of the equal sign. We try and take it to the power, it's just going to be algebraic mess. So we need to move one first. So let's move one. So I'm going to move the 28. The 28 minus 2x1. So I'm going to add that to the other side. So we get x plus minus 2 to the 1/2 equals 28 minus 2x to the 1/4. Oh boy. Now that's a problem because you have to raise both sides of the equation to the same power, right? Keep that balance. So one's 1/2, one's 1/4. What do I do? Do I do 2? Do I do 4? Okay, to make that decision, we're going to look at what is the common denominator. 4, right? 1/2 and 1/4, common denominator is 4. So that is what we're going to use. I'm going to move this guy over. Okay, so we're going to take everybody to the 4th. Okay, so over here they're going to cancel. That's no big deal. So we're going to get 28 minus 2x. Over here, we're going to have to do a lot more work. Like I said, this is the challenge question. 1/4 times 1/2. 4 times 1/2 is 2. All right, let's see if you guys are up for it. X minus 2 quantity squared means I have to write this twice. And multiply. Oops. Okay. Left another room beside me. Okay, so now we're going to have to get this equal to 0 because it's a quadratic. Solve it. Okay, and then we have to check both of those. Okay, so do I have enough room? I hope so. All right, so we're going to, back in the original problem, all right? So we're going to go 6 minus 2 to the 1/2 minus 28 minus 2 times 6 to the 1/4. And the question is our answer equal to 0? Okay, all right, so this is 4 to the 1/2 minus 2 times 6 is 12. 28 minus 12, 14. Let's check that. 28 minus 2 times 6, 16. Wow, did really bad math there. I knew something was wrong. Okay. So this is 2. This is also 2. So we're going to get 0 equals 0. Cha-ching. All right, 6 works. Okay, I'm going to run out of room here. Okay, now we have to check -4. Okay, so -4. Okay, let's try that. -4 minus 2 to the 1/2 minus 28 minus 2 times -4 to the 1/4. And again, we want to know is that 0. So this is -6 to the 1/2 minus, this is 8. 28 plus 8 is 36. No. Yes. To the 1/4. Okay, so I want to know is that 0. So -6 to the 1/2. I have a feeling what the answer is no. Yep, see, look, give me an error. Okay, this doesn't work. Okay, so that's not going to work. Okay, so check your calculator, make sure. All right, so the minute I tried to put in -6 to the 1/2, it was trying to take the square root of a negative number. Not dealing with that. Okay, so it's not too bad until the last question. That last one was our challenge. Let me know if you have any questions, guys. Keep in mind, what are we doing? We're going to isolate the expression or the variable that's being taken to the fractional exponent. We're going to take the reciprocal of the fraction. That's the power that we're going to take to both sides of the equal sign. We're going to solve, and then we're going to check our solution to make sure we're right. Okay, have a great rest of your night, guys. I'll talk to you again real soon.